So, hey guys, welcome back to another risk taking awareness podcast. And today we will be talking about the risks that come along with Black Friday shopping and Cyber Monday, as just it is around the corner. It's important for us to address them, especially considering the circumstances of today that will make this year pretty different. So, what we're going to do today is discuss the general risk of Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping and then narrow it down to more specific situations. So, just as a refresher for our audience and for ourselves, Black Friday is an informal name for the Friday after Thanksgiving Day in which many stores open at midnight to offer highly promoted sales and which many mark as an official start to their holiday shopping. As for Cyber Monday, it's basically the same thing except only happens on the Monday following Thanksgiving in order to encourage consumers to shop online to provide a more convenient, hassle-free way to shop and cash in some amazing deals. So for our first question, it is, how about we name the general risk of concerns that people tend to have when going to contribute to shopping on Black Friday and online shopping? So for example, any safety concerns, fights that break out, crowd-related injury, and displays and shelving suitably secure. So really any risk that you take when you go to shopping. So first to start it off, DJ.
Yeah, so I think I'm actually going to give a kind of different answer than most would expect, but you always hear about people camping out the night before, staying almost up all night in front of the store waiting for the moment that it opens. So who knows, sleep deprivation or because it gets colder in a lot of areas, there's always risk of hypothermia. So that's always a risk that could be associated with Black Friday, but it isn't one that most people would take into account or really recognize immediately.
Concerns of Black Friday, I think, are more so about the potential dangers of shopping, like Juliana mentioned, such as injuries associated with like the riots, stampedes, or even fights that are all common occurrences during that day, especially over deals that people will physically fight for when the item is in like limited quantities.
And especially with this year, Black Friday and the coronavirus, it's going to be especially dangerous, being around all of those people while shopping and having to make sure you stay also distant and wear your mask. Make sure you wear a good one, especially if you're going to go in person Black Friday shopping. But I think another risk that people don't really consider when they go Black Friday shopping is um, the amount of money they have the potential to spend. Spending a lot of money is dangerous in every situation, whether it comes to gambling, which we've discussed on our risk-taking podcast, but Black Friday tends to get so many people to spend so much money, and most of the time the deals aren't even as good as you guys or you listeners might think they are. Items that go on to Black Friday sale are usually marked higher, and then come Black Friday, they are discounted then, so it's not even as great of a deal as you think it is. So to come this Black Friday, I would just say be careful what you're spending your money on. Make sure you're getting actual deals and not overspending. And if you're going in-person shopping, make sure you take all the necessary precautions for the global pandemic.
Yeah, I think I can build off kind of off of what you were saying, how with just because there's deals doesn't mean that you're technically spending less. Because if you're buying things that you weren't going to buy in the first place, you're not really getting a 20% discount. You're really spending 80% more than you normally would. Because you weren't going to buy that product in the first place. If the only reason you're buying the product is because there's a 20% discount, you're not saving 20%, you're spending 80%. And I think there's a lot of people that don't realize that, and so they end up spending a lot of money that they didn't need to spend in the first place.
Yeah, just to recap, you guys brought up a lot of really good points and some points that we think of, and sometimes we don't really think of them as like such a great concern and such great risk. So you guys really knew how to answer that. So for our next question, it is, given our circumstances of COVID still going on, the CDC recently put out a list of low, medium, and high risk activities for the fall holidays. On the high risk list, you may ask, shopping in crowded stores. Now this goes into on hand on how stores actually began their Black Friday sales in late October, and we also have stores such as Target, Walmart, Kohl's, and Best Buy actually have decided to close on Thanksgiving this year to avoid that shopping. Do any of you think it's a risk people should still take, or how, if they do decide to go shopping, how they could minimize the risk? So, Chloe?
Oh, yeah, definitely it's a risk. I mean, it's a risk any time of the year, even when we're not suffering a pandemic. But I think it's responsible and safe for these stores to close. I think if we could, they should do it longer and limit their source to online shopping, because they know that people are going to wander or crowd into the stores, riots, all the crazy stuff that's going to happen. They know that there's a risk for that. And not only are they putting their own customers in danger, they're putting their employees in danger. So they can minimize the risk by going online. And to save answers for my team, I'll end it there.
I will say it is very a good thing that they're moving the deals all the way back to late October, but I have noticed that in recent years stores have kind of been doing that even without the threat of the virus going around. You know, they kind of just sit there and go, "We are doing deals all month long, so you don't have to worry about doing it on one day." And I don't know if that's just another excuse to get more people to buy product, or if that's an excuse because they actually care about people's safety. But I mean, the thing is, even though these deals go on all month long, people are still going to crowd into stores on that Friday, on Black Friday, even though technically Black Friday is going on all month long. So maybe if they closed on Black Friday, it might be able to alleviate some of it, and people would have to spread out their scheduling for holiday shopping a little bit more. So that could be a potential thing that they could do to help alleviate some of that risk.
Right, as DJ mentioned, I think back in the day, Black Friday was actually on Friday and people would wake up super early um, and in the middle of the night to actually go and get these deals. But personally, I wouldn't even bother, because not to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but it's not worth it, especially when the stores are recycling the same deals and products that are on sale. And like DJ mentioned, nowadays Black Friday is just extended to a longer week of shopping, where stores are already offering discounts during the week of Thanksgiving and beyond. So you can find stuff already if you're really into shopping ahead of time, and you can even do it before the crowds come.
You guys brought up some really good points about how maybe it's not even worth it this year of doing Black Friday shopping, because you don't really want to take that risk. In this scenario, it's a lot more of bad risk than good risk. So that was some really good explanations that you guys provided. So for our last question is that we're still going to stay within the same topic, but we're going to shift away from the subject matter of the customers to the retailers. So as we know, Black Friday and Cyber Monday get talked about every year, but there's a lot of speculation as to whether the sales holiday offers legitimate discounts, and actually whether it's even worth taking part and the risk of a retailer, and whether or not if it's worth the companies to get involved this year with their Black Friday sales, and as well as the customers if it's worth the same risk. You know, because it could go either way for both. The companies can either do really good or really bad this year. So overall, if you were in charge of the company, would you take the risk of contributing this year? So Raquel, would you like to start?
Personally, I'm going to kind of take this to a health route, especially given this year's circumstances. If I was in charge of a company, I would just kind of cancel Black Friday as a whole, especially in-store shopping, because although you're open and you want to get income, you're also putting your employees at risk of contracting COVID from somebody who's shopping in store. And so if I was still wanting to get an income, then I would do deals online or another time, because not necessarily all deals have to be during Black Friday, but can happen around the year, and that can also attract customers.
So I think it's easy for us to say, you know, of course we wouldn't do that. We want to keep the risk minimal, and we would close our stores and make it online shopping only. But again, it's really easy for us to say that because we don't own these multi-billion-dollar businesses like Target and Walmart. You have to think about it from, you know, a greedy person's point of view. And no offense to these people, actually, all offense, because I doubt they're going to close their shops because all they care about is money. So it's one thing for us to say that, of course, we would close down for Black Friday because we care about the health and safety of others. But when you're actually one of these multi-billion-dollar companies, you know, CEOs, of course, they don't care about the health and well-being of others. They only care about making money in our capitalist, you know, society. So just to like summarize that, of course, and I know my partner teammates here would want to do what's best for the people, but once it comes down to it, billionaires, millionaires, they don't care about the little guys. They care about their money, and that's how it be.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, morally speaking, the correct thing to do is try to split your sales around through the year rather than focus them on Black Friday. But I mean, realistically, considering the greed of most corporate business owners, that's just not going to happen. And I mean, the thing is, we as us are not corporate business owners, so we don't really understand. We haven't been corrupted by greed, and honestly, to be to be quite frank, if I was a corporate business owner, I probably would be corrupted, and I probably would end up still doing Black Friday. So it isn't right to do Black Friday. It isn't worth it. Should they take the risk? Absolutely not. Are they probably still going to take the risk? Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it's going to work. And I mean, there's always the idea of it's money. Everybody knows Black Friday. Everybody tries to shop extra on Black Friday, and business owners know this. So they're going to take advantage of it. I mean, any sane business owner would take advantage of it, so they probably wouldn't shut down. I mean, morally speaking, it is the right thing to do, but they're not going to.
I really like the way you guys, explained the risk on how there's like the morally risk that, we wouldn't want to take the risk of overall just protecting everybody, but then we also have to keep in the other's mindset. So for our last question is more on the personal level. How do you guys plan on celebrating Thanksgiving this year? And just to avoid those risks of anything of putting yourself in danger and putting yourself in others. So anybody that would like to go next?
I'll go first. I'm not exactly sure what we're doing for Thanksgiving this year. I'm probably going to be seeing close family, trying not to keep it too big to reduce risks, or at least taking a lot of precautions to try to stay safe. But, you still want to see family around this time because you never really get to go out of the house. I mean, of course, you should stay home all the time, but that's just not the way that humans like to behave. And it's not even healthy for humans to 100% all the time be inside. So I probably will be seeing family, but we'll be safe enough that it'll be not as much of a risk.
Honestly, same as DJ. We don't even know what's going on this year. We haven't talked about it, but I think we also will just probably be keeping it close, close and personal family members, just to avoid the risk, because we definitely wouldn't want to be part of the reason, the COVID cases numbers go up. So just like DJ, and I also encourage our listeners, yeah, enjoy time with your family, maybe get out, but please be safe, wear your mask, social distance, and test if you need to. Testing places offer a lot, there's many places that offer free testing, so just make sure you guys stay safe and don't take unnecessary risks.
Yeah, similar to everyone else, I think this year we're going to gather with family as always, but even those family members who, let's say, are coming from far places, we know how they are and how they've interacted, and we also have more or less of an idea of where they've been, which is good for our own health because it's open and honest. So we know if, in case they did come in contact with someone who had COVID, they wouldn't be coming over anyways. And also, I think with the new curfew of 10 p.m., we're not going to be gathering for long amounts of time, and it will be also a small group, which I also encourage everyone else to participate in if you are hanging out with people. Yeah.
Yeah, there were some really good ideas of how to minimize those risks for not only ourselves, but our audience. So overall, I just want to say thank you to our participants and to our audience for joining us on our Thanksgiving special. And don't forget to like and subscribe.